Hey everyone, it's Liz, the Frugal Libertarian. My son is hanging out over there behind the curtains. Sorry about that. I wanted to give you a follow-up to my video on having pudendal neuralgia and everything that was going on with that. So in April, me and my husband went into New York and went into the hospital for special surgery, and I got another MRI. Now this was done by the same doctor and the same technician that did my MRI back in, I believe it was 2011. When I was there, they actually asked me to be part of a study on the pelvic nerves that they were doing, pelvic nerves and disorders of the pelvic nerves. So I did participate, and hopefully that'll yield more options for you guys, more options for me, for everyone else who has this condition. We were looking to see if there was something going on with any other nerve, because I've been having pain in different areas since my son was born. We were looking to see if the scar moved, if the scar changed, so what happened with it. They compared the scan they did then with the one they did years ago, and they found that, shockingly, the scar is in exactly the same place, exactly the same shape. Nothing has changed with it. It hasn't moved, it hasn't grown, it hasn't shrunk, nothing. It's exactly where it was, and I guess there it will be. But they did find my nerve is thickening. I do not know what that means. I've been trying to research it. I'm going to bring it up to the neurologist and see if they can give me some answers as to what that means and what that is. So this week, my doctor actually went in and did another pudendal nerve block, except in the past, he always aimed for the scar. He was trying to localize what he was doing to the area where the scar is, because then if the scar is causing the pain, then you kind of don't lose a lot of function, but you shut the scar area off. This time he went in with a different approach. He went for the nerve itself coming out of the nerve canal, because that is where the thickening is noticeable, and that's where it starts. So he went much, much lower, aiming for a different area. So far, I'm actually not getting relief yet, but I'm getting something that I had years ago when he first started doing these blocks, which is almost like a cycling with the nerve, where it goes from being, okay, it's starting to feel better, it's starting to feel better, oh my god, it's at pain level 10, okay, now it's going back down again. We've kind of joked around and called it like the nerve is fighting for life. The nerve doesn't want to be blocked, so the nerve is literally fighting the medication, so it comes out. Sometimes it gets better and sometimes it gets worse, and it kind of cycles in and out like that. Right now it's at a low point. Yesterday was awful. I was on the couch almost all day. I was miserable. I was snappy. I was just in so much pain. So basically, gotta wait and see what happens when the cycling stops and where it ends up. If it helps, but it doesn't help by a lot, I'll go in and he'll do the same exact block a second time next month in the same location, just to increase the amount of medication that's in there. And what we used to do years ago was, about 6 months after the last block was done, I would go in, repeat it. Once I started to feel like the pain was starting to back up again, I'd go in and repeat it again, either 1 month or 2 months in a row, depending on what happened, and that seemed to keep the pain reasonably controlled. That also didn't have the cycling because there was already medication in there, so all they were doing was adding a little more, so the nerve didn't really fight it like it is right now. So I wanted to give you guys that update. I am a little concerned about what the nerve thickening means for me and what it means for the future of this condition for me. They said that it's not thick enough to be entrapped by the canal. I think they wrote yet, because it clearly is something, this thickening is something that is progressively getting worse, because it wasn't noticeable in the previous scan, but comparing the two scans, you could see that the nerve had gained size in the last 6 years. I'm going to take the scan results to the neurologist and get their opinion on what's causing the underlying of this, but until that happens, I'm going to keep going with what my doctor is doing and has been doing, which is giving me these blocks, and hopefully this one will reduce the pain enough that I can either repeat it again or won't need to repeat it next month. I will give you more updates as we figure out what's going on. Feel free to email me. My email is down in the description if you want to talk about this, if you want to talk about doctors, if you want to go over private information about you and your treatment, feel free to do that. Like always, you can leave it in the comments. Give me a thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't, because I will give periodic updates of what's going on. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye!